What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Liquid Crypto YouTube channel. We are back with another video. And first of all, I want to start off by apologizing to everybody that watched the first video because I was on that video requesting people to like and to leave comments. And if you have any questions in the comment section, and only just to find out that the comments were actually disabled. So would really like to apologize for that, for all that inconvenience caused. But the comment section is back live. It has been enabled. And if you've got any questions from the last video, you can put them on that video. If you have any questions for this one, the comments are enabled. But let's jump straight into it. Right. The theme of this video is going to be about central banks and their increased adoption of cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects. And the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the former head of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, has been named as one of the board members from the digital payments company called Stripe. Right now, Stripe is a digital payments company that's based in the US, and they're estimated to be valued at about $115 billion. And Mark Carney, who was the former governor of the Bank of England, is actually a cryptocurrency advocate, and he's been basically opening the door for cryptocurrency innovation within the UK. But now he's been appointed as a board member for the digital payment system company called Stripe, which is currently valued at about $115 million. And this is quite big. There's a lot of, if we pay attention to what's been happening over the past couple of weeks, paying attention to the different central banks and how they've actually been focusing their attention towards adopting cryptocurrencies for payment systems and just for introducing the new technological age within the financial system, we can see that a lot of the central banks are actually now starting to ramp up the acceleration of this adoption. If we just read here, central bank digital currencies, this is what it stands for. So while central bank digital currencies poses a number of opportunities, it could raise significant challenges for maintaining monetary and financial stability. This is what Mark Carney said before leaving the Bank of England's top post, right? So we've got a former central banker in Mark Carney who's moved over to a digital payment system. We have another central banker who is actually the Federal Reserve chair, the Federal Reserve of the United States, who has basically come out and said in the past week that a digital dollar is high priority at this point in time. Before, they were still saying we're researching, we want to find out, we're still looking at which companies do we want to use to help us with these different projects. And if you remember in the last video that we did, I did show you that the South African Reserve Bank, as well as SARS, as well as the FSCA, have all been working together on their own central bank digital currency project. We've got the Federal Reserve of the United States of America working on their own digital project. So a lot of these guys are ramping it up, and Powell has said that a digital bank currency is their first, well, not their first priority, but has now become priority for 2021. Forbes actually stated this earlier on this week on the 23rd of Feb, digital bank currencies are forms of money issued by a country's central bank that exist entirely electronically without any connection to physical bank notes or coins. So basically what's happening here, if you can't see it, let me just help you. Basically what is happening is we are now accelerating the movement towards having a cashless society. And the central banks and the governments are basically going to be responsible for ushering in this new monetary age of a cashless society. Remember, the central banks run the banking systems, but our governments run regulation. They're the ones who say, this is what you're allowed to do, this is what you're not allowed to do, and that's that. So basically, as governments become more inclined into adopting cryptocurrencies as form of payment, as a store of value, as a form of settlement, then the regulatory clarity will become more and more clear as time goes on. So we've got a former bank, a reserve bank chair in Marconi, moving over to a digital payment company. We've got Jerome Powell, the current chairman of the Federal Reserve, who says digital dollar has now become a priority. And moving on further, we also have the People's Bank of the Republic of China has basically joined a cross-border digital currency project with other central banks. Now, these other central banks include Thailand, include the United Arab Emirates, and it includes Hong Kong as well. So basically, China is one of the first central banks to actually pilot a central bank digital currency with regards to the digital yuan. So that's the currency that the Chinese people use. And they've already piloted, and they're actually in the second stage of testing the digital yuan. And now further, they're also partnering up with Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and Hong Kong, exploring a digital currency cross-border payment project together. So basically what they want to do is create what we call passages to each other using the blockchain system to give each other payments. And the blockchain system that they're going to be using is distributed ledger technology. We covered this in the first video that we did. And if you didn't know, the companies or the cryptocurrency companies or blockchain projects that use distributed ledger technology are companies such as Ripple, projects such as Hedera Hashgraph, projects such as Zinfin with the XDC token. And distributed ledger technology just makes things easier in terms of transaction speed, because blockchain the blockchain that Bitcoin operates on has issues with scalability. So the more people that are on the network, the more expensive it gets to process payments, and the slower it also gets to process payments, which presents a real issue to countries, because this is ultimately an issue that we're trying to solve. We're trying to solve a payment system issue with regards to time and with regards to decreasing expenses. And distributed ledger technology basically helps with this. It's a lot more scalable and it's a lot faster as well, right? And because we're from South Africa, so we definitely got to put a little bit of that South African spice in every single video that we're going to be putting up. So we're going to be finishing off with well, maybe we'll be finishing off, but one of the biggest banks in Africa and in South Africa has recently also just concluded a partnership with the Hedera Network. Now, the Hedera Network is one of my favorite projects within this blockchain space, and Hedera basically aims to solve the same sort of issues with regards to payments. Right? They are working on a whole bunch of other projects as well, but one of their main focuses is assisting with settlement, time, speed, and things of that nature. And if we can just read a little bit here, Standard Bank Group, the largest African bank by assets, has partnered up with Hedera Hashgraph, an enterprise-grade distributed public ledger, and joined the Hedera Governing Council. Standard Bank will establish the continent's first Hedera Network node, which is set to solve some of the sore points that have historically beset the development of cross-border trade. So I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but we can see that there's a theme developing here: cross-border payments, distributed ledger technology, lengthy settlement periods. If we just take a look here at the lower, this lower paragraph, Hedera Hedera distributed ledger technology effectively allows for sharing of information between two parties involved in a transaction and ensures that information or data is in fact credible and authentic without the need for a trusted intermediary. Transactions conducted via the distributed ledger platform are not confirmed until all data fields and conditions are met. This creates transparent environments and allows for trades to be settled faster and more efficiently. Ultimately, that is the theme. That is the theme that we have going on here. So, if you guys are looking for different crypto projects to invest in and put your money behind, remember, guys, once again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market, my opinion on all these different projects, and this is me providing you with as much information and understanding on the blockchain cryptocurrency asset class. So this is a new asset class that is being developed, and we're basically going to walk you through this whole project, this whole transformation of the financial space. So DLT is quite a big thing that a lot of you should try and pay attention to, because if you don't, there's a very big chance that you might be left behind. There's something very big that happened earlier on this week, and it's something that I wanted to actually end off with. This is actually going to be the last little bit of information that we put in this video. But basically, this week on Wednesday, the Federal Reserve system that allows banks to send money back and forth went down for several hours. So imagine if banks aren't able to settle payments because the Federal Reserve system is down. And this is now where the different cryptocurrency projects that are focused on solving solutions like this now step in. This is where the spotlight now turns to them to say, how can you help us solve this issue? And this is where companies like Ripple with XRP come in and say, okay, look, we're going to now help you with this system, because these systems that they basically, it's called the legacy system, the legacy banking system. The legacy banking system is extremely expensive. It's extremely slow. It isn't scalable. There's security issues. There's a whole bunch of things that different companies like Ripple, like Zinfin, like Hedera Hashgraph are able to solve. And it's massive when the biggest central bank in the world, the number one central bank in the world, when their payment systems go down and the smaller commercial banks are unable to settle payments for several hours, this is a massive, massive issue that needs to be solved. And there are a number of blockchain projects that are already in position, Ripple being the best one for the Americans, to help solve this issue. So basically, yeah, guys, that's going to be the content for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed and understand everything that was shared. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming to spend some of your time on our YouTube channel, and we'll be back next week, possibly, with another video. Thank you.